Divine Light Activators. Welcome to Season 3 of Own Your Divine Light Show. I am Janet Miller, the Divine Light Activator, and I'm so happy to have you here during this momentous time. Something none of us have experienced before, and I feel it's so important to share about ourselves and through these experiences. We are in the shift of ages, and we are learning about ourselves, and it is a gift. And if you are healthy, it can be a gift. If you are recovering or lost someone, I send my heartfelt blessings to you. Right now, I would like to have a moment of silence for our brothers and sisters of color, because you all deserve to live in safety, and sending you love and blessings. So if you don't mind taking a moment, Dr. Cousens. Okay, when you're ready.
Okay, good.
And thank you, because all voices are needed to be heard at this time. It's so important for us to send. We're sending you love and blessings because we're here to learn and support you in any way we can. We're ready to create the world we're waiting for, and we are ready to do this together. And I'm so honored today to have the multi-accomplished, multi-dimensional humanitarian, Dr. Gabriel Cousens, with us today. And welcome, Dr. Cousens.
Well, Janet, I'm happy to be here and share. And as you'll see, multiple connections.
Yes. Oh, I know. So just to name a few things, because his list is so long. He is an accomplished, liberated yogi. Now, that is something I had never heard of. I thought that was just absolutely amazing. And he was directed to give Shaktipat, which is energy to awaken the Kundalini. I think that is just so beautiful. Everything you do is heartfelt, and I see that. Just so your heart is so big, and you just follow. And you also are an American 4-year sun dancer, an eagle dancer, an 11-year spirit dancer. I said, that is incredible. And I saw your happy birthday dance. So happy late birthday, belated birthday. That was awesome. And you're also a head of the Yellow Horse Clan. And he also contributes to the spiritual world through spiritual nutrition and the formulation of his path of holistic liberation, which emphasizes a natural way of living, guided by his 6 foundations and 7-fold peace. So many things that we could talk about, and I know we have a little shorter time this time, so I'm going to let you. And here's this one: a holistic orthomolecular physician, a homeopath. I don't know what an orthomolecular is, but if it's got something to do with molecules, I'm sure
It has to do with vitamins and minerals,
right.
affecting
Okay,
people's minds.
that's an incredible.
So I don't give people psychiatric medications.
Right, because you are a
improve their
psychiatrist.
fundamental functioning with that.
Yeah, you're very natural. I know you're a psychiatrist by that's how you started,
Right.
but then you went into the natural world and family therapist, Ayurvedic practitioner, Chinese herbalist, and you were even a commander in the U.S. Public Health. You have founded your Tree of Life Foundation, and you have the Tree of Life Center in the U.S., and you have been an author of 14 books. So this is a very accomplished man. He is also a co-founder of the West African NGO called WARES, which I thought was absolutely fabulous. And you have another group in Mexico, and you are very, very involved with you've supported and health and diabetes prevention programs all over the world, organic farming and orphanages in 28 countries. I mean, you're married. You have 2 grown children and 3 grandchildren. I loved all of that because it's just, look at how complete you are. It's the whole circle. You've really completed it all. It's like you're an ascended master in your body here. I really feel like you've reached it. So I just want to know, what project is most dear to you? What do you want to talk about today? What do you feel is the most important thing? Because it's your platform today.
Well, I just mentioned I also lived and worked in Central Harlem for 3 years.
Okay. Yeah.
I was friends with Malcolm X.
Oh, wow.
A little bit of time, verbal friends, and
It all.
work with Black communities really around the world, but in really 6 different countries in Africa.
Wow.
So I'm kind of connected in a different way. If you understand. I've also worked with gangs on the south side of Chicago.
Wow.
So I do have done and do a lot of work in the Black world, so to speak, having a slightly different understanding coming from actually a community organizer living in Harlem. That I'm just kind of putting in because that's the topic of the day. But the topic of the day for me is the only thing that matters is about God. Because if we don't have that, we have nothing.
Right. Okay?
And so getting that perspective. But I'm going to ask you one more thing before I do that. We could take the last 10 minutes and I could actually give Shaktipat over. This is what I've been doing
Oh,
over the internet.
wonderful. I would love that. That would be so special for all of us, because I said my prayer and I grounded before, asking whatever he's meant to bring through, he will. And I forgot to say, you're also a rabbi. That's just amazing. I mean, you've done it all.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So we're going to start with the prayer of merging the heavens and earth, heart and mind, because when that disconnection happens, you see the chaos that we're seeing today. So, Shini Kukuru Shabrihu, Ushinate, the Ilaya, Shiniki, the Vovki. Birash from Hashem was real column. Amen. Okay. Welcome everybody to this, and thank you, Janet. I think the biggest thing as we're looking at the chaos, okay, is, and particularly for your listeners, is, well, what can we do in the middle of this chaos? Mm-hmm. First, we don't want to add to it.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
So how do we not add to it? Well, the most important thing we can do is go inside and really connect to who we are, the truth of who we are, not our politics, not our opinions, but the deeper truth of who we are. That's really it. And it's so easy to get swept into this mob psychology. You know, that's what happened with Robespierre. That happens with Mao and the Red Guards. And, you know, we see it with Stalin. These kind of mob things really happen consistently throughout history that push people out of the truth. Mm-hmm. All of them were against God. Mm. Right? If we really kind of look back, it's like, well, no God for Mao, no God for Stalin, no God for Robespierre. So we have to understand the bigger struggle, more from a spiritual point of view of what's going on, rather than getting caught in the politics, which is really easy to get lost to. Because we feel for what happened, for sure. I mean, I have to tell you, working with Black gangs in South Side Chicago, people are getting killed all the time. I mean, literally.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I understand.
And for the 2 years I worked in there, nobody got killed.
Nice.
There's a reason for that, is that giving more meaning. Right? Riots don't give you meaning. They amplify more of the demonic energy. But when we look at that, and when I worked in Central Harlem, lived there now, I didn't just work there, I lived there. I was part of the community. It's the same thing. I work with the community leaders. I also work with the original Black Panther groups, both in San Francisco, Oakland, but also in New York City. Mm-hmm. And, you know, was pretty close to people. A lot of people got killed. This is not new here, okay, unfortunately. So that doesn't minimize what happened, but, you know, my personal friends got killed. Wow. So I, you know, who are Black Panthers.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Sure.
So this is not new. This is not new. It doesn't mean it has to be, we have to deal with it, but it's like, oh, I just noticed that this is happening. Okay. Mm-hmm. So where do we go with that? And we need to me, as people are asking me for help around the world, is we can't go anywhere until we remember who we are. That's kind of the most important thing. And from that place of that truth of who we are, okay, then we can begin to radiate the light that can begin to transform and wake up the world to the bigger truth of who we are. Okay? Yeah. And in that process, when you see that we are the light of God, we are that image, we begin to see it in other people.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Absolutely. That's my platform, is for people to own their divine light.
And see it in other people.
And always see it in other people, yes.
So what's happening is completely in opposition to that truth. Yeah. That's my concern, okay? Without, again, getting into politics, the big picture is, how do we as spiritual people help people remember who they are and begin to see the light in each other and see the unity. That's the key. That's the key. And that's why I have the thing in West Africa, because we're all working together.
Yeah.
Okay. And in Mexico, same thing. The Alliance de Corazon, the Alliance of the Heart. We're all working together.
All opening from the heart. It's all heart-based.
So that's what I see that we need to do is remember who we are, get back to this heart-centered way, seeing God in all people. Yeah. Not buying, I'm going to call it, the different levels of racism. It's very, very dangerous.
Yes.
Divisiveness is what kills people. Unity is what brings people together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it's just all over the world, we face that. I mean, it's just, and I don't want to say there's nothing new, but I would like to see taking this opportunity to say, well, there's a big problem, right? It's a tribal problem in a certain way. If you work in Africa, you understand that, certain tribes are attacking other tribes, and, you get what I'm saying here.
And problem. Yes.
And our job is to bring people to the awareness that we're all holy beings.
Yeah. Yeah.
And honoring the light and love of God in each person. How do we do it? We have to wake up ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's kind of how I'm kind of approaching it. It's really the way I've always approached it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I will tell you, living and working in Central Harlem, working with a lot of political people as a community organizer, it works. My experience in the, talking about the Black community is people are really open to this. I mean, they are founded in church. They are founded in a certain level. Even Malcolm X, who got demonized, he definitely had a spiritual.
Oh yeah, I read his book, so I know his life story. Yeah, I read it, and
and I know him, as I say, I knew him
personally. Yeah, that's a different.
Over a few years. So what's my point is that they, like Martin Luther King, who I didn't know personally, were focused on, again, God.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a really important thing to understand, because what we're seeing today isn't doing that.
So what did you do in Chicago that made things different? I mean, you say what did you actually do? Like, what was the physical?
Well, I worked with a gang of about 300 people, Lords, and they had, honestly, no meaning and no expectation of a future. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like, of course everybody gets killed by the time they're in their early 20s. What's the big deal?
Expected. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah. So how do you change that expectation? So I began working. I began doing education. I actually began playing tapes of Malcolm X to people, because he was the only one they could really relate to. Yeah. And then we began to do kind of good things. We actually stopped a full-on riot. This is amazing. Yeah. I mean, it was I worked out at a place called Abraham Lincoln Center. It was across a street from huge settlements. Somebody went to shoot somebody, whatever happened, big crowd gathered, then a bus came by, and then it hit a kid. Suddenly we have a full-on riot. Wow. So with the gang members, I said, let's do it. Let's take care of this. So we went out. I mean, there were thousands of people. I'm not talking hundreds of people. Thousands of people on the street. And we were able to bring order to it. The police were pretty smart. They let us alone. They showed up, obviously. Mm-hmm. They did not interfere. I mean, we're doing a good job, right?
That's wonderful. Yeah, that's.
And so the gang had a huge victory. Now, so the question is, well, oh wow, we can do this. We're leaders. We can actually do good for our community.
That's powerful.
Big change in perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, because they had self-worth. They could love.
That's exactly right.
Of course.
Right. And I remember the regional police lieutenant met with us after. He says, "What did you guys do? How did you do that?" But we did it because
you valued them.
Yes.
You gave them their voice.
That's right.
That's what we're doing now again, is letting that happen, don't you think? I mean, the people of color, they're ready to, they're tired. They've been getting killed constantly, so they want to be listened to. And, they talk about systemic racism. I mean, it's opened my eyes to see, children, the little black child picking the white doll over the black doll, because why? Because that's the good one and this is the bad one.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, who would think at that age that they're so programmed that there's something wrong with the color?
So the issue is what you said earlier, honestly, is self-esteem,
Yes.
self-worth, and stopping a riot is not an intellectual concept. You're out in the street, this is serious stuff, because it goes wrong, it really goes wrong. So my work with them, and really very much in Central Harlem too, was creating situations where people could experience direct self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did in Harlem, for example, I lived about a block and a half from Harlem Hospital, around the corner from Bigwell Smalls, where actually Malcolm X actually worked.
Okay.
And we worked with a school, and we created, because it's too long to go in, but we basically created a 1 week. I brought people from all 8 different medical schools, and we examined everybody. It was like a community control situation. Those were the days. PS 175 was the first school to really do it, not IS 201, if you know what I'm talking about. We were the very first. And basically, we created a community control situation that really, really worked. We had obviously a parents committee, but we brought in and we examined all the kids in the school in 1 week in the evenings. And really exciting. But then what happened after that was more exciting. I was able to get some funding to train mothers, mostly it was going to mothers in the community, to be like paramedics. Because when we analyzed the system, basically people had no access or skills to get the access to health. So I got some grant money, and we started a whole service where we trained the mothers. Basically, we were covering half of all Harlem. By the time that's a lot. That's a lot of schools.
That's a big place, yes.
And then I worked with the head of the health department to then get the New York City to continue the program. You follow what I mean? In other words, a grant gets you started, but then the program has to continue. So we had a whole training program for the mothers in the community. It's called Income as well, but doing some really, really, really positive things. So everybody gets involved in health education, and getting people to get help in a variety of ways. So again, what's the point? Community control, community empowerment, and success. Okay? And I have to be honest, burning down stores in your local community is not about success, okay? It's about destruction.
No, I absolutely agree. But some of that.
So we were doing, and still are, because I do this all over the world, doing really positive things. So in Africa, we have, I do a lot of work with diabetes. So we have a whole training program for people, and then they go out and they screen for diabetes. It's the same principle. It's community empowerment. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
In a real way, not a rhetorical way.
Right. No,
real practical, really good things for really good purposes.
Take the action, because that's what really is speaking now. You're listening, but you're also taking the action. And
right. So that's what I've been doing since the 60s.
Wow.
Okay. So,
and
I'm personally very committed to it, and it works. And part of it works is we have mutual respect. I never, this is a little because of the white-black thing, people get confused. A lot of white liberals want to be, I act like black people. I never did that.
Right.
They used to laugh at the white liberals for being such fools, actually.
I didn't like that. Yeah.
But they were with me, they're saying, look, you're real with us. You're who you are.
Yes.
You're a real person.
Yes.
We'll work with you. This is good. You put your body on the line in multiple ways. Fine. you're in.
Proved,
We're, you know,
proved yourself. Yes.
yeah. So, but I never, I did, you know, this bowing down. This is not good. You only bow down to God. But what I'm saying is, they respected me, the
Mhm.
leaders, because we are really equals. We're not playing games here. We are trying to help the community. That's it. You
Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
we get killed, it happens, but we're doing the best we can. Okay, so rather than doing, you know, doing this kind of subtle bowing down, they it was very disrespectful. When the black people just would joke about how what fools those white people are, literally to me, you
So,
know.
so you think that's going to apply now? So is that program?
Absolutely, no question about it. It's just the same game I saw in Central Harlem. Okay,
Yeah.
nothing. Okay, but I don't want to go too much into it, because the key not to do that way is see God within yourself,
Yes.
experience God within yourself, experience God in each other, and that's why it works. Okay,
Great. Yeah.
where if I'm in Central Africa, West Africa, or I'm Central Harlem, it doesn't matter. And for with the gangs, I'm seeing God with them.
Yes.
I may be playing basketball with them at 11 o'clock at night, you know, with the hoop. But, you know, there's a mutual respect.
Yes, and that's what I think has been missing all these years. And so
Yeah.
that's what we're getting. That's what everyone's asking for. That's what all these groups and people are asking for, is that mutual respect to, and just to live as we all live, and, you know, be safe. That's my,
Well, I don't know if anybody's safe, but okay.
well, safe within the realm of safety that we have, like as white people. When you look at it, our safety is a little different than their safety.
Well, let's just say when I lived in Central Harlem, we had a block club. If the police were giving tickets, they'd knock on the door and say, "Hey, your car's on the side of the street. Move, you know, you need to move it." Everybody took care of everybody else.
Well, see, that's the old ways, and we've lost them. We need them to come back, to care about people in your neighborhood, your community. People don't even know their neighbors. I mean, we've gotten so separated. I mean, and technology also is partly part of that. And I just, it's
Yeah.
like
So
it's
we were working on that level as just people living in the community, which is
right.
different
Well,
than
you were
the,
very ahead of the times. I mean, the 60s was kind of like that, and people were coming into their hearts, opening their hearts more. I mean, I was born in I'm your age group, you know, so I'm not that much different. So
you're not good. Tell me your age. Okay, good.
yeah, yeah. So, you know, I know those eras. I know them
Yeah.
all. So it's
So
possible.
that was kind of where that works. It works
Yeah.
all over the world. It works today in Africa. It works in Mexico. I do a lot of work with Native American. It works. Okay. And that's the key thing to understand in the
Yes.
big picture.
And I agree. Mutual respect is number one. Seeing God in each other, know that we're exactly the same. It's like you're a mirror of me. You are a
That's
mirror of me. And when we see each other, we see God. So it is about 7 minutes. Do you want to do your Shakti pot?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I can go 5 minutes over because it's
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
so let me just explain to
Hmm.
people,
Sure.
and I'm going to give a because it's a meditation, isn't, you
Mm.
know, so and really, so my lineage goes back actually to Shiva, so 8,000 years. So I've been empowered in that lineage by my spiritual guru Swami Muktananda,
Hmm.
um, to give Shaktipat. So it's not just out of the blue, because
No,
you
I
have
know.
a lineage
Yes,
with
I
it.
understand. Yeah.
Okay, so basically, to meditate, I'm just going to go very quickly. We sit quietly. Um, we witness, observe what goes on. And most of you people probably know this, but I'm just reviewing it so we're on the same
Sure.
page. If the Kundalini is awakened, you may have movements. Don't worry about it. You're not crazy, right?
That's good to see
And
that.
then I use a mantra that actually came to me after a 21-day water fast. And it's
Hmm.
the name of God is grace,
Hmm.
which is we need today.
Absolutely.
It's Yod on the in breath, Hey on the out breath, Wa on the in breath, Hey on the out breath. It's the inner male and female becoming one, outer male and female becoming one. So it's one of unity as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
So you just repeat that with your breath, Yod, and then Hey, Wa, and then Hey. And
robes
And
in.
then when your mind's quiet, you let go of it.
Say that last one again.
When your mind is quiet, you stop repeating the mantra.
Oh,
The
okay.
mantra is just to focus your mind.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so this is what Moses received at the burning bush. As
Oh.
this was the name of God he got. The
Mm.
name of God is grace, and we certainly need a lot of grace today
And
in
my
today's
friend
world.
just said her granddaughter just was born, and guess what her name is? Her name is Grace.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
just 2 days ago.
Oh, well, congratulations. Congratulations. Great. So what I'm going to do, and is the energy, I'm just going to simply look into, I'm not sure how this goes, but
Yeah,
I'm,
you're perfect. Just look straight ahead. It's fine.
okay. So I'm just going to do this for about 20 seconds, and we'll go into meditation for 10 minutes. I'll go over a little bit, and then
Okay.
a little sharing, just to make sure everybody's
Thank you
okay.
so much.
Okay, so I'm going to just be looking in and feel the energy, the soul energy coming through, and then I'll just a yod at the end. And we'll go meditation. Here we go. So kind of open your eyes and receive the energy as it's
Okay.
coming through from the divine.
Ah. Mm.
Okay, so with a yod, we'll go into meditation. Yo. Close your eyes and just repeat the mantra until your mind is quiet. Okay, good. Yo. Slowly come out of meditation.
Wow. That was beautiful.
And I know this is a recorded video, so
Yes.
there's an audience out there at this moment, but anything you want
I
to share
can
about
tell
your,
you, yeah, I felt this amazing, just gentle energy coming in right down my spine. It's going all the way down my spine. It was just like the softest breath going down my spine. It was amazing. Just
so
so
that's the
beautiful.
Kundalini being activated.
That's
Okay.
what I'm
It
glad you
comes,
said
it
yes.
goes in two directions, coming
Yeah, it
down, but
usually
also,
comes down or up, but I was feeling it from up to me, coming
yeah, I
down my
understand.
crown a
So
lot.
that's part of it. That's,
I've felt it before from the bottom up, but now I'm feeling it, and my legs are tingling. Oh my goodness. It's so soft. The sauce, I felt a Kundalini opening before, and it was a whole different experience. This is another kind of experience where it's just so beautiful, like this amazing love. Like you said, it's grace. And that's all I could think of is the grace coming through my body, the love of God, the love of spirit source coming through my body. It's just beautiful. And I still feel it. It's still in me.
yeah, well, it can go on for a while. I mean, the
I'm glad to
tingling,
hear
the
that because it's
movement.
so nice. I don't want it to end. Thank you
Well,
so much.
it does what it does. So if,
Yeah.
now each week, partly in trying to respond to the world crisis, really,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I am doing this, actually, in Middle East, I have a group, and then also in Brazil and in Spanish speaking, and also English speaking.
Fantastic. Yeah. Yeah.
So at 5 o'clock West Coast time,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
each Thursday,
Okay.
I'm doing this kind of free thing where we people have spiritual questions and answers, and then we do this. I call it the fire power of God. You
Oh
know,
yeah, definitely.
you
It's
know,
amazing. Yeah.
naturally burning up because that's what's needed today.
It is, and it makes people feel loved. I mean, you feel this eternal love. It's like unconditional love coming through your body. It's amazing, and it's so tender. It's so gentle. I mean, that's I can just feel
It's the real soul empowerment. That's what
mm,
we're talking about.
I love that. I love that. And thank you for explaining that. And you know, the only thing I couldn't remember the words you said. So
That's okay.
I'm just imagined the symbols in my mind. And I just said, I know that we know it because he said it. And it's just imagine that it's there. And I did. And it was just so beautiful when I relaxed and let go of the thinking. I'm like, okay, now I can totally embody this whole amazing. And it's still going. I feel it really around my heart right now, just sort of in the back of my heart.
Right, I understand. That's a
Yeah,
full
just
heart chakra opening, not the front, but the
yeah,
chakras
the
are like a
entire heart.
globe in a way.
Yeah, yeah,
They're
it's
not a disc.
beautiful.
So great. So if people want to reach me, they just go to drcousens.com. We
Mm-hmm.
have a online community where we're
Oh
supporting
yes,
people in the
I've
right way.
seen it. It's
People need a
beautiful.
lot of support. This
I
is a
joined it.
hard time.
I
You know?
joined your community. I said this
Oh,
is
good.
amazing. I know. And my husband, I'm married to a Jewish guy. My kids are Jewish, so you know, they've all been bat mitzvah, you know, all that.
Very good.
So
Very good.
we have an amazing, yeah. And I said, you've got to meet you got to look at Dr. Cousens stuff. This is amazing, Rabbi Cousens. It's amazing what you do. So. It's
Excellent.
beautiful
Excellent.
stuff. Beautiful stuff. So I know you had a free gift, and I don't know if you want to do you remember what it's a quick go? You have 6 PDF options, and they're amazing. I was looking at
Yeah,
them.
what they have to do is they just to sign up for the newsletter, they
Yep.
get that free gift, and they get to choose.
I see it.
They're
I
different
downloaded,
copies.
yeah, I downloaded one because you had one about iodine, and I'm like, that's so interesting. I wanted to know about that. So it's so
That's a very
amazing.
important thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't believe he had that. And I was gonna ask you a question on that, but we don't really have time today. But I said that was one of my questions I was gonna ask about, but it's okay. It
Well,
wasn't.
tell me the question and we'll go ahead. I'm
Well,
only,
I have a low thyroid. And so with all this stuff going on in the world, everyone was getting things for COVID and all that. And so one of my friends said, get iodine, get the organic iodine and take it. And of course I'm on, levothyroxine. So I said, I don't feel comfortable because I don't know how to take it. So I
right.
used it like on my body, but not in the body. So
So there's a few pieces. First of all, from a spiritual point of view, iodine activates the pineal gland.
Ah, okay.
It forces out the fluoride and chloride out of the pineal gland,
Oh,
and
wow.
because it's a halogen. Second, it really activates the brain, the heart,
Mm,
pancreas, obviously the thyroid. The way to do it, okay, safely without me being your doctor,
right.
is that I use a iodine that's called Illumidine. It's scalar wave activated. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay. So what I recommend is start with 1 drop 3 times a day in water. See how you do. Do you feel more active? And
Ah,
you
uh-huh.
can work up to 15 drops 3 times a day. But the point I'm making here is that then you'll see, well, my heart starts racing. Well, that's too much.
Yes, yes.
So these things can be used along with the medications, but you just have to measure it so you get the right amount that makes you feel better and clear, because it really helps your brain function. Major way helps brain function,
Interesting,
but
interesting. I wasn't aware of
it
that.
gives
Yeah.
you a certain vitality.
Mm,
Okay,
so interesting.
so and it's really, people think it's fourth chakra, obviously.
Yeah, of course. My throat was,
Yeah,
I did not
yeah,
speak very well for a long, long time. This is like a whole major opening for me.
right. That's good. You're doing well, getting your program going, so it's good. So
Thank
just
you.
start real slow. Has to be taken away from food, the
Oh,
saluminine, and
okay.
that's
Away
it.
from food.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
Interesting.
water at least 15 minutes to a half hour from food.
Ah, and I take an adrenal support, like a vitamin support. So
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. I didn't want to
It
like,
will help the adrenals as well.
yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
Also, it's antiviral. It's the best
Yes, and
antiviral
that's
in the
why
world.
they were recommending it. Like a friend of mine who is a vegan nutritionist, she recommended it. And
Right.
so I said, wow, that's interesting. So I bought it. But you have a particular, I know you have your own vitamin system that you use.
Well, yeah, I have one. I get scheduled with vector. So I do have, people can get on the newsletter, they can get the whole protocol, which is
Yes.
just being healthy as a protection against, the COVID thing. And really, everybody's been on the program. I haven't had one person get it.
So you have a COVID profile on your
Yes,
website.
it's
Okay.
my newsletter, comes in each
Oh,
newsletter.
okay.
And
Okay.
so
'Cause
anyone that signs up or connects, it automatically, they'll get the
I think I
profile.
missed that one. Okay. I figured you did because I was listening to you talk one day and I said, oh, you were giving a lot of information. I'm like, wow, I don't know any of that. So
Yeah.
we're
So
constantly learning.
it's something you can do and it's non-medical. You know what I mean?
Exactly, exactly. That's powerful. So thank you. I have to thank you so much for everything that you did today, and I'm so happy that we finally got together. And just thanking you so much for being the cosmic humanitarian and being that you are, and bringing so much love and support to humanity with all that you do, and
Thank you.
helping people, finding their soul purpose. You do that, like
Yeah.
you're bringing
Yes.
that to the world. You're helping them unlock their passions, ignite their authenticity, and finally creating the lives and world we love and we've been waiting for.
And it
So
starts with finding your own, connecting with your own soul, and then everything happens from there.
absolutely, absolutely. So
Well, thank
thank
you
you
for
so
your good
much.
work. May you be blessed, and all your people who are listening be blessed.
Thank
Okay.
you. I am Janet Miller, and I'll see you all on the next episode. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you.